Are you part of the problem, or are you just claiming ignorance? Are you intentional about what you do, or you are just interested in the profit you make? The essence of this video is just to let you take a look at what you do and how you do your things and the consequences of doing anything. You see, in the world we live in, there are a lot of complaints, there are a lot of problems. However, I think one of the most important things that don't get said enough is the fact that how much of that problem could you have caused, or could be a consequence of your action. In other words, what are the externalities? Now, externalities in this phrase obviously is an economic term. It just means that what are the consequences, or what are the result of your action that were not intended. So for instance, crude oil companies, when they extract crude oil, when they try to transform it to petrol, or they give away waste that can disturb the environment. Say somebody's organizing a party, rent a hall, the noise that you disturb people in second, third street. Those are the externalities. Yes, you need it, but those externalities were not your intention, but it happened. However, the person facing the consequences will always know about it. And that's how I feel we should always look at our world. Another example is making money. Usually when you hear of an investment and someone tells you, oh, I'm building this, buying this material, starting this company. Yes, you are starting the company, you make so profit. Here's my track record. And once you hear that the company is profitable, yes, you're happy, everybody's happy. But one question you always ask is that, okay, yes, we're making money, but is the integrity, or is what is happening in this company, is it causing more harm than good? Because if you look at the whole circulation, there's a certain amount of money in the world. Say, let's just imagine let's create a hypothetical system where there's just £100 in a particular system, and there are like 10 people in the society, and each have £10 each. Now, what truly makes technically that economy is, we can say, is what that person is willing to spend. So for instance, now everybody has £10 each, 10 people have £10, £100 economy. But if they are constantly spending, the person that has £10 spend £2 today, spend £2 to another person, the person has £12, the person with £12 spend to another person, creating value. Is that exchange of money that is the whole essence of how economics work. However, the question is that in that group of 10 people, is there one particular person that's intentionally decided to just siphon about 80% of the whole money, leaving 20%, £20? Let me just use this, hypothetically. I'll just take the £100, leaving the remaining 9 people to just manage the rest of the £20. Now, the next question will be that, okay, I'm working, I'm creating value, I'm thinking, then I should get rewarded. Yes, that's fact. But the question now, and how, even if the remaining 20 people that are just sharing, the remaining 9 people that are just sharing £20, the question might be that, okay, they were lazy, they were not hardworking enough. Now, so part of this video, now I want you to just get to the point I'm trying to get to, is that how do we draw the line, or how do we differentiate the difference between somebody who works hard and somebody who is greedy, and somebody who still work hard but the system is not being friendly to them? I think that is where we should draw. That is how most arguments should come from. If we are looking, if the very successful is just looking from the point of view that those that are not successful are lazy, and those that are not very successful, those that are struggling, they're looking at the point of view of that those that are successful are just thieves, or are just selfish. Let me use that word. We always get it wrong. The idea is that how do we understand the essence of our environment? And this is similar to the game theory, but I'll talk about that in another video. So this video is just about raising your level of inquisitiveness. Look at the actions, look at the decisions that you make in your everyday life. Are they actually are they actually addressing the real society? Are they actually addressing what you want? If you're working in a place and you feel that you're getting paid, do you think you should, if you're working in a place, if you're working in a place and you feel that you are getting paid less, do you think you should level up your skill? Or because you feel that those at the top are just stealing money, then you should just steal how much, steal anything you can get? So it's what I feel is wrong with the world. Everybody seems to just concerned about themselves first. Yes, it's good to a level of degree. You have to think about yourself first, but to get to a level whereby thinking about yourself alone will cause more harm because it's just about greed. And look at another example I would like to give is just like, look at the real estate, for instance. Real estate market. It's very funny because I know a lot of people complain about real estate market, but somebody might just be complaining that, okay, he's pissed off, rent prices of houses are increasing, he can't afford, he's paying maybe £1,000 or £1,002 on a house before. Now he has increased it to like he's paying £1,500 on a house rent, meaning his disposable income, the money he has to do other things, has reduced. Now if that same person later in life he grows up, he makes more money, and that same person is being called to come and invest in the real estate company and say, oh, you make this profit, 20% profit every year, 10% profit every year. Now this same person, will you question the fact that, okay, this profit I'm making, this is going to make some people less rich, this is going to reduce the disposable income for some people? Why don't we just possibly reduce the profits in such a way that we can make enough money, and people that are renting the house from the company he wants to invest in still have disposable income? Will you look at things like that? Will you look at the fact that, okay, things was difficult for me, by the time I get much better, I should make things easy for those that come? I think that is the most important question everyone should ask. We need to look at how we make our decisions. We can't just be all selfish, because there's a limit to human want is insatiable, but I think that human need is satiable, and I think there's enough resources in our world to cover for our need, not our want. However, most often than not, everybody wants to use their want and mistake it for their need, because they are just so insatiable. You have more money, you want more wealth. Yes, it's good to want more wealth. I want more wealth. I want to be very rich, more than I want to have so much money, but it should come from value and not outsmarting people. Yes, most often than not, you always outsmart people, and obviously when they learn that you've outsmarted them, they are wise. But I don't think it's right to just make decisions just for your own self. If your basic needs have been realized, I think the onus is on you to be more rational. Obviously, it's not like you will obviously not do anything or just be too comfortable where you are. No, let the source of what you get be more value than just being smart, because the more you try to feel you are smart and take advantage of the system, the more it kind of fights back. Everybody in Nigeria today, they are saying economy is booming, but the money is not circulating. So it's things like this that I think we should be curious about. We should always ask ourselves the question: the decisions I'm making, what are the externalities of the decision I'm making? How is it affecting other people? I'm not saying you should not think about yourself, but obviously there's a level of where you think about yourself too, that obviously if you think yourself more than that point, it's just being selfish, and it might have a negative effect on another person. That doesn't mean those that are on the other side of the spectrum should also blame people. It's good for them to do their work. So that's the whole essence of this video. What are the consequences of your action? Understand the consequences of your action and learn to deal with it. Let's just make the world a better place. Thank you.